Okay, I think I'll just start. So yeah, if anyone does join or you watch this after, hello and welcome. I'm Kirsty, and I'm also on Instagram as @Robo Strongwoman. So I'm a Welsh strongwoman, a lightweight strongwoman, typically 64, but I'm going to be looking to go flitting between 64 and 57. And I wanted to start this channel because I'm really passionate, essentially, about kind of showcasing particularly women in strength sports, but particularly in strongwomen. So I've taken a bit of a kind of leaf out of Loz and Liz with their Sunday live, but I want mine to be primarily focused on strong woman or strong women, and also women who are linked to strong women. So, partners and different things and how they support kind of the strong men instead of talking about the male side of things. So this is purely about a space to kind of talk about things, ask questions. I'm happy to kind of do the live chats if there's questions on if you want to get into it or do it or you already do it and different things, feel free to ask. So yeah, the idea with the lives is to do this not necessarily on today. I had some technical issues earlier in the week. You wouldn't believe that I work in digital, but it turns out I did have a few technical issues of getting this set up. But the plan is to do these on a Sunday at 8 o'clock, kind of rounding off a weekend, to talk about different things. So knowing this is the first one, I'm not going to go too far back in terms of some of the competitions that we talk about, but obviously as they're live, it'll be more apparent and more up to date. So I'll give a bit of a run through of kind of the next competition. So I'm going to talk about the one that's this weekend, which I happen to be competing in as an under 57. And this is going to be going up to Cumbria or towards the Lake District, and competing in the under 57 Pro-Am Arnold qualifier. I suppose the Arnolds didn't come to the UK this year, so there is the opportunity for this competition, which is this weekend. So spectator tickets are available, but there's a really kind of it was quite surprising, to be controversial and say it's quite surprising that there's not as many athletes signed up to this competition as I thought there would be. Particularly, for example, in my category of under 57, there's 5 of us. In the under 64, there's 3 of us. And then we've got the under 70s. Is it under 70s? No, so we got under 57 and the under 64, and then the under 82. So making sure with that. And then we've also got the Opens women lineup in that one. So, and yeah, there's not loads so under 80, so under 64 had 3, under 82 had 4 people in it. Opens is a bit of a larger category, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 in the Opens, which there's some. I was going to say throughout the categories is kind of a stacked lineup. I'm not going to talk about myself, but even in my 57 category, I feel everyone's really strong. So it's a really kind of testing. It's going to be heavier. Said this is my first time making weight, but I know a few others have made weights before. I know a few others have had other competitions and different priorities, so I know different things, but the under 57s is a really strong place to be. In terms of the under 64, we've got Tatiana, who's all that by the looks also competing as part of the Masters. Zoe Noon and Demi Stewart, and I believe that I've seen I managed to compete alongside Tatiana, and I know she's again really, really strong. So again, against a really stacked kind of 64, albeit small lineup. And then within the under 82s, there's a Hannah Ross, Stacey Pope, Beth Ion, and Sally Brearley. And Sally, by the looks, is a masters athlete. Again, really so like I said, small but competitive, so it should be a really good day. And on top of that is the Opens. So I'm very excited with the Opens. I'm a bit biased because I can see Andrea in there, and I love Andrea Seed. But I do think, again, she's been training really well. I've seen kind of her Instagram and things. And a lot of them. So you've got Alice Cartmail, Andrea Seed, B. Hansen, Grace Hilborn Birch, Hope Christie, Lucy Burns, and Natalie Tung. And all of them, again, are really, really strong athletes. So I feel like, yeah, it's a really stacked lineup with who's coming. I was just shocked that there wasn't that many. But then at the same time, I know that Worlds is coming up. There's kind of a load of other things going on, qualifications. There's the Masters coming up. And in December, I know that Ash is holding within AL Strength kind of promotions, the kind of lightweight competition, which again is pushing for a paid for professional comp. So again, lots of things going on. So I get that people are prioritizing and they can't do everything, and things cost and everything. So it's probably not as surprising as I'm making out, but it's still that it's an Arnold qualifier. So yes, exciting. And with that, we've got a deadlift for reps, which is 2 bars with the trump bar. There's an overhead medley between the log and an axle, a carry and drag, 2 sandbags with a sled, farmers, and a sandbag to shoulder, which is the worst thing in the world, in my opinion. But here we are, everything strong women, so that's fine. But yeah, if you can make it up to Cumbria or you're in that area, I know there's spectator tickets. I think if you look up CSA coach _ Adam or CSA coach _ Connor, they've been sharing it on their stories recently about getting tickets and things. So if you do want to pop along, it would be great. So yeah, great comp kind of coming up really. Going back to, so the other week I got to MC at the lightweights, under 64, and I think it was under 90 I did, as part of Ash's comps a couple of weeks ago. What I would say with that is, one, it was a privilege to MC. I think it was live streamed on Chaos Live. But the other thing which was really telling is just the absolute kind of incredible women that were there. So they had a deadlift ladder with I think it was 18-inch deadlift at the end. Many of the particularly the lightweight women were doing the 90 kilo stone over yoke, which was just incredible to watch. 65 kilo axle overhead. So what I would say is there's just such a great caliber of particularly the women out there. And it's kind of also spurred me to want to do this as a channel. So I just want to give credence to all of those individuals that were part of that. Like I said, as part of these, it'll be more detailed a bit closer in each time. But I think if you want to have a look at that, I definitely look at AL Strength on Instagram. I know, like I said, there's a few other comps and things coming up with Ash. So definitely recommend that. I think the next one now is in December. I can't do it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have loved to, because the events look really good. I happen to be on holiday in Porto, so I will be nowhere near a weight category or doing anything. The only thing I'll be lifting is port, chocolate, and meat and cheese. So unfortunately, I can't make it, but it'll be a good crack and a good day. And there's a load of individuals coming over from, I think, the US and different things. So we'll talk about that nearer the time. And I'd like to think that hopefully we'll have a few kind of maybe some interviews on here with people and how they prep for comps and to have a chat with them. So that's all really good fun. So recently I was on Strongwoman Highs as a podcast. And I was really grateful that had a lot of really great feedback on that. And Becca's amazing. But we had a really good chat, so that was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to kind of get across that I'm probably not the most natural athlete. It's not my thing. In terms of, I wasn't grown up or born to do it. Like I said, I was the ultimate nerd. I was quite overweight, etc. So For me, it's trying to say that anyone and everyone can have a go at this, and it's what I actively encourage. And part of what I'd want to do from even doing something like this is to kind of show it's possible, and kind of, if you want to get involved, like I said, always willing to ask questions and support and do different things. So I think that's really exciting. So on to like strong woman news, if you will. So I think we should talk about the Donna. So I love Donna. She's great. So Donna Moore, the legend of the monster dumbbell, if you will, is going. Well, she did go for the British record and she smashed it. And I feel like there's probably more there, but it was a 73 kilo monster dumbbell. If only I could do half and make it look as easy, that would be great. It was just incredible to kind of watch and kind of see the clip online. I'm always in awe of Donna, an absolute kind of goat of the sport, if you will. Her knowledge and expertise is great, and she's always so supportive. So I just wanted to do a shout out because that was a really great kind of amazing thing to do. So for the British record, so that's great. We've got a load of people training for OSG Worlds, like I mentioned earlier. So again, probably why some people haven't signed up to certain comps in kind of this winter, because they're going over to Texas. But what we're seeing is some really incredible training. Got people like Emily Norley, who pulled like a 225 deadlift. Rosie Abercrombie, I think today pulled 210 or 220. I think she was close to 220 for like a double. Then we had Rosie looking great with the overhead. She's quite formidable with the monster dumbbell particularly, and I'm always in awe of watching her do it, especially because she does it with a slightly different technique. You got Shannon. Again, I'm talking probably more about the lightweights because it's more my area, but I just think there's such a kind of great kind of caliber of women out there. Shannon's looking great. I know she had a holiday recently, so I know she was trying to get to that bit of a deload to re-ramp up. So that seems to have gone well. So overall, I think we'll come back to like world training kind of at a later one when we're a bit closer. What I did want to talk about is not this weekend, but the weekend after is the female masters up in Birmingham at the Fit Expo. So probably mildly biased, but really interested. So I'm going to be up helping with the weigh-in, but I wanted to talk about a load of the women that have been training. So it looks very exciting. I think, like I said, I'm a bit biased. She's my coach, but I have been watching Sam Taylor training, and her axle deadlift and her stone and everything. Her training's gotten really, really well. So I think she's in a really good place to do really well at this comp, if I'm going to say that. So she's been training obviously really, really hard, but also as kind of, it seems to be coming together for this comp. So it's all very exciting for that one. I've also got Abby, who I train with, who's one of my Saturday partners at the Peak Gym. One of the Saturday crew, as I like to call us, training for the Masters also. I don't think Abby would be kind of saying, but training hasn't gone necessarily super to plan. But I think what was really great is that there was an event day recently with Claire Byler and saw a load of clips, and she went to that. And I think there's a lot to be. I think should be more confident in herself. I think that I think she's got a good place to kind of go to for the competition. She was picking up kind of, I think it was like comp weight, yoke, etc. So she did do it. But I know everything hasn't quite gone to plan either. But I think she's in a really good space considering. I'm trying to think who else is in the British Masters. So while I will look at on here, because I'm not sure of everyone who is on there. Let's have a look at all the athlete list. In terms of the women, so we've got Rosie, so Rosie Salas as well. I know a couple of weeks ago she wasn't too well, but I think she's kind of recovered really well at the moment. I've been watching her training. Her overhead, she gets trained by Ben Glasscock and seems to be going really kind of, I think, like I said, in a really good place. So it's going to be very exciting. We've got Callie Gould, Ali Davison, Gemma Marks, Eve Bennett, and Natalie Alien. And I'd never know if I say it right. So when I do meet you in person, I will probably check that I do know everyone's name properly. So it's all very exciting to watch the Masters. So that'll be the Saturday after this kind of weekend, and that'll be up in Birmingham. So if you are around, would be great to see everyone. Like I said, I'm up there supporting doing the weigh-in because there is a lightweight Masters which we'll come on to. So it's all very, very exciting, and it'll be really great to watch. But I know some of them are having their last heavy sessions for that right now, and then they'll be deloading down. So they all seem kind of, I feel like, in a really good place. And then you've got the women's Masters under 73, or the lightweights, Lucy Hardwick, Diane Lawrence, and Karis Parry. What I will say is I haven't seen Dan or Lucy, I think, recently on Instagram, but I will have to have a look. But Karis, couple of weeks on implements properly, and she's kind of gone a bit strength to strength in the past couple of weeks, and again should be, I think, a lot more confident in what she can do. So I think they're all in a really good place, and it's all very exciting. And I definitely suggest you go and watch that. So if you are around, it'd be great to see you. And like I said, the event day really showed. I think Ryan and Claire were supporting people up there with kind of suits and different things, the yoke, and just giving hints and tips. So, like I said, it's a really good kind of place to be at the moment. So yeah, and then I'm just going to leave it there for this week. So feel free to kind of like, subscribe, comment, and all the usual stuff that apparently goes on with YouTube. I'm hunkering down and kind of resting for a bit. So I've just done my contrast therapy and just got home, and we'll see you for the next one. So if you do enjoy it, let me know. I would love to hear if you have any questions or comments or thoughts. That'd be great. Otherwise, be good to see you soon. So bye.